what I'm going to ask you now, the other was that I couldn't go because we were using one car, so we couldn't be everywhere. Has there been any report of violence in those wards?
Well, let me tell you this. You have said just now it was like it's a communal thing. Everybody knew everybody. We're brothers and sisters. Let me mention some words that you didn't mention in your report just now. Word 1. The commissioner was there for about an hour. Egbeli Primary School. He sat there.
Sorry.
He sat there. What proceedings? There was nothing like violence. Even when he left there, Ward 6, there was nothing like violence. The only thing that happened in Ward 6 was that the former caretaker committee chairman, who is from Ward 6, his own unit, Eboiki unit, stole the ballot box.
Who stole the ballot?
The former caretaker committee chairman of Esan, who is from Eboiki, stole the ballot box, and it was retrieved from him by the police and given back to the people. In Ward 7, it was the same thing. Nobody stole anything. Nobody disturbed any person. The election went on smoothly. The results were released, counted and released, and people were already jubilating. The same thing with Ward 8. So what we didn't know was that I am still waiting for the ESEC chairman to tell Nigerians, to tell Edo people what happened in Esan Northeast local government that led to the cancellation of the result. The results were cancelled not because there was violence, but because John Yakubu of the PDP won that election.
You're saying now that there's no actual physical evidence of violence, mass violence, widespread violence happening in the different polling stations and what?
But they're outside the talks they imported from Benin,
that were arrested
in the morning and taken back to Benin. I want you to go back to the police station, Esan Northeast Local Government, Rumi Division, to find out for yourself whether on the 24th of April 2013, whether there was record of any violence reported at any police station. You can go back to the Commissioner of Police to find out whether in their records, whether they have a report of any violent situation in any of the police stations. Outside the one arrested by the police, and they were taken out of Urumi. So to the best of my knowledge, there was nothing like violence in Esan Northeast local government.
In Uzea, I heard somebody attempted to steal the ballot.
That's the one I just reported. That's the one I just told. Yes, by yes, what's his name now? Robert Okoeneme. Robert Okoeneme. It's on record. It's on record that ACN stalwart Robert Okoeneme stole the ballot board belonging to Eboiki, his own unit, and instead attempted to go away with it. Was arrested. The ballot board taken from him. And again, the election went on smoothly. Because this was at the beginning of the process, not at the end. So there was no issue of, in Ward 6, the Uzea axis, nothing violent was reported to the police station. I want you to cross-check this. I want you to go to the police station. 24th of April is about 4 months away from today. Just about 3 months or 4 months away from today. Check the records for yourself. So the violence that took place as announced by ESEC is probably known to ESEC alone. It probably took place in ESEC office and not in Esan Northeast local government. And I make bold to say this.
So you would say that the election that happened in Esan Northeast...
No, that happened in ESEC office. I want to repeat that because I want the ESEC chairman, who I want to say here categorically, is an extension of ACN. Everybody that presided over that election was an ACN card member. And for the fact that even in Esako East, Auchi, or Esako West, Auchi, you saw the violence that happened in Auchi, the shooting of people. But at the end of the day, results were released. In Igweben, ballot boxes were snatched. Election didn't take place. And at the end of the day, results were released. In other local government, election didn't take place. But at the end of the day, even when the people cried out, so to speak, results were released.
So why do you think the election was cancelled?
I think the election was cancelled because ACN discovered that I won. That is the reason.
like I said before, I experienced the counting of votes in 4 wards, and the results were announced. And do you think that happened in other wards where the results announced in the different wards and the winners known in the different wards, like it happened in the wards that
all the wards, like I told you at the beginning, we have 11 wards.
Yeah.
And today, as I speak, posterity will judge ESEC and the people of Esan Northeast local government. Because that daylight robbery done in Esan Northeast local government, I am sure and I pray will not repeat itself anywhere else in Edo State. And I know the chairman of ESEC today will be bleeding in his heart to have cancelled a free and fair, credible election in a council where PDP won. All the results of the 11 wards were released from Ward 1 to Ward 11.
In their different police stations?
In their different police stations. At the ward level, about 7 of the returning officer, ward returning officer, absconded. They ran away. And I'm sure you were at the police station where all the 106 presiding officers gathered looking for who to deliver the papers and the result to. And these same people, from a state hard-earned money, taxpayers' money, were paying for a job not done. Such an unfortunate thing. And I know, as I speak today, ex chairman, in his heart, will continue to weep.
All right, okay. You said there were 106 polling stations.
Yes.
And which is 11 wards. And in these 106 polling stations, the results of the elections were announced in the different police stations.
Officially.
Officially. Counted and announced.
Officially.
So and where the problem wasn't in the different wards. At the different wards, we already knew who won the election. So where the problem was, it was the official announcement at the collation center where the different polling stations and their representatives will bring the result to be collated together and formally announced. Well, that was where the problem was.
Yes. Let me put this very clearly. Now, you witnessed some of the wards where results were declared. Were announced. Now, officially, you were supposed to, by the law that guided the conduct of the local government election that took place in Esan Northeast local government on the 24th of April, was that by law, when you have finished the process of conducting the election at the unit, what you're supposed to do is that you officially, the presiding officer, who is by law allowed to announce the result, will officially, in the presence of both parties, officially declare the result. And that's what they did. And when you have done that, what you again do is that you give a copy to the parties. PDP will have a copy, ACN will have a copy, ANPP will have a copy, and the police will also have their copy. And you again mandated by law, guided by law, to paste a copy on the wall. So that those who were not there can walk through that place any day, any time, and say, this is the result as declared by the presiding officer of that, election that took place. In the police station. And all these things went on smoothly. Smoothly. Results were declared at the various police stations. As I speak to you, the police have their result from the 106 polling booths. PDP have their result from the 106 polling booths. ACN have their result from the 106 polling booths. But what they refused to do was, because ESEC is an extension of ACN, an appointee of the governor of Edo State, what they refused to do was to officially announce that result. And I want to tell you, it's such an unfortunate thing that you asked for the a question concerning the autonomy of the local government just now. We're supposed to have an ESEC, independent, Edo State Independent Electoral Commission. I want to tell you that the only person that is not aware that ESEC is not independent is probably ESEC chairman. The only person, in quote, that is not aware that ESEC as presently constituted today is not independent is probably the ESEC chairman himself and members of the commission. And it's shameful that that is where we are. That you take instruction from government before election is conducted, You take instruction from government before results are announced. Are you aware that the result of Esan Northeast local government, the fake result, the fraudulently compiled result by a returning officer midway into the night was sent to the governor of the Edo State for vetting? But when the governor saw it, like we were told, like he had told so many other persons, when he saw it, he said, look, where are the ballot papers? Where are the unit result sheet to back up the result? The shameless man said, oh, no, we don't have them. So if you don't have them, then don't announce it. I'm saying this that because the governor said it in presence of the House member and also told the very senior member of my party. That to tell you the level that we got to in Edo State. A man who ran away. You saw the presiding officers, 106 in the police station. A man who has condemned midway into his journey into Benin City, concocted a result and sent it to SA chairman. Posterity will judge him and his family. So it is not about whether we had a free and fair election and a very credible election. It is a situation where somebody set us back 60 years backward.
Would that, what now happened in Edo State, Esan Northeast, when compared with the famous slogan of one man, one vote?
What would be your perception of what happened?
Well, in Esan Northeast local government, the issue of one man, one vote was allowed to take place until it got to the final stage of announcing the one man, one vote. For other local government, I cannot speak for the other local government. But for Esan Northeast local government, the process of one man, one vote took place from the beginning to the end of the process. But instead of announcing the one man, one vote, SEC chairman Solomon Ogo cancelled the election. And I really don't know. I'm yet to know the law that guided him to that cancellation. So whether they like it or not, Esan Northeast local government, my local government is setting the pace of one man, one vote. They did it for Adams Oshomole. Adams Oshomole is not from Esan Northeast local government. But they voted for him on the 14th of July. He won. And PDP members rejoiced with the ACM members because they voted for performance. They voted because they believed in Adams Oshomole. They voted even across party line because they believed that Adams Oshomole was supposed to continue from where he stopped. Rather than voting PDP, they voted ACM, they voted Adams. And they repeated that for me on the 13th. But the process did not allow it to happen. That is what I said just now, that Esan Northeast local government is setting the pace for a clean and clear and very transparent election in Nigeria.
Yeah, I read a few weeks ago that the ESEC officer said fresh election could not be conducted because of fear of violence in the area.
But yeah, are we at war? Is there anything near Boko Haram in Esan Northeast local government? Is there anything did you see anything? Did you see people carrying guns on that day? They conducted election in other local government. Now, I expected ESEC to write the commissioner of police to say, oh, now that we cancel elections on the 24th of April, so and so date, we want to conduct another election. It is not the duty of ESEC to provide security. The commissioner of police have not come out to say, yes, we cannot guarantee the conduct of a fresh election in the Esan Northeast local government. It is only ESEC, by extension, FCN, and by extension, the government of Edo State that is claiming insecurity in the Esan Northeast local government. I want you to go and interview the commissioner of police. If there are fears of insecurity in Esan Northeast local government, it is not ESEC chairman that should be saying it, and I think somebody is speaking for him. As I speak to you now, 4 months after that election, Solomon Ogo had not found it necessary, deemed it necessary to speak to the people of Esan Northeast local government. Such an unfortunate thing. It's sad.
So you have not been contacted?
Nobody.
By anybody?
Nobody. All we hear is rumor every day. Even after the passing of a resolution by the House of Assembly very recently, mandating ESEC to conduct a fresh election in Esan Northeast local government, 1 month after.
Do you think the commissioner of police briefed the state governor on what happened, or what he experienced?
I am sure he did, but that is not supposed to be, by their profession, by their training. I am sure he did, and that is not supposed to be in the public domain. I am very sure he did. That is his job.
So you are sure the governor knows the truth?
I am. They know the truth. They know the truth. They saw the truth. They felt the truth. And the truth will continue to prevail.
Governor Oshomole at a point embodied, freedom, embodied justice, fair play in the electoral polity of the country. But why do you think he would allow this to happen in Edo State?
Well, my first shock about the election that happened in my local government is that rather than Ogo speaking for ESEC, it was Comrade Adam Oshomole that was speaking for ESEC. And now, rather than ESEC chairman to tell you that the process that brought about other chairmen in Edo State was fraudulent, officially, openly, the Comrade Governor advised or instructed ESEC chairman to apologize to the people of Edo State. I'm sure you are aware of that. Now, what we are looking for, what the people of Esan Northeast local government is looking, what we're saying is this: they're crying for justice. They say, he who goes to equity must go with clean hands. They're crying for justice. We want equity in the Esan Northeast local government. Our hands are clean. Now, it took ESEC 4 days to organize a rescheduled election between on the 20th and on the 24th of April. As I speak to you now, 4 months after, ESEC is here to fix a date for a rescheduled election. Even when we are ready, they are yet to fix a date for a fresh election. Is that an independent body or a dependent body? That's why I said just now at the beginning that ESEC, outside Solomon Ogo, are members of ESEC who are shamelessly claiming that ESEC is independent. They are probably the only persons or the people that can speak that ESEC is independent. The other one is no to the people of Edo State.
So what is the mood of the people of Esan Northeast?
Well, the mood is that they are just waiting, believing that one day a date will be announced. They are just waiting patiently. We are very civilized people. Civilized to the extent that we vote across party, no money which party is there, but believing on performance and believing on the character of the persons presented by the parties. And that's why I said just now, Esan Northeast local government is setting the pace, seriously setting the pace. And I hope this will be known to the entire 36 states of the Federation. The local government is setting the pace for others to emulate. If in 2012, a council voted Oshomole, and by 24th April 2013, the same people who voted him are voting another person under a different platform, it means the people are aware, they're civilized, they know their rights. And based on that, they want to determine their future. But what we're saying now is that somewhere along the line, somebody wants to alter that. And don't forget, I'm speaking of a local government where Chief Anthony Nahur of the blessed memory is from. The man who moved the motion for the independence of this nation. So again, Nahur did that in the 60s. The people now, through John Yakubu, is doing it again. And this week, I am not in doubt at all. I am not in doubt about this at all. That what happened in Esan Northeast local government on the 24th of April 2020 will be a flow that will cover up the entire nation. Because the only way we can get development, the only way the people can feel that there is democracy in Nigeria is to allow them choose their leader. And once that is done, we now begin to experience democracy and the dividend of democracy.